Hey guys, it's Doc here on a Monday night. I just thought I would do a short video talking about Helen of Wyndhorn issue 3 by Tom King, Bilquis Evely, Matheus Lopes, and Clayton Cowles. So, Bilquis Evely is the artist, Lopes is the colorist, and Clayton Cowles is the letterer. So, let's dig into it, guys. So I know a lot of people don't really care for Tom King. He's long-winded, a lot of exposition, it's not always easy to really get through. But you know what? I am digging this story because this is really a story of a grandfather and a granddaughter going on this wild, crazy adventure, and him showing her exactly the world of imagination that her father lived in. Her father was a famous writer, and he had passed on, and Helen was a hellraiser and a drinker and never really had amounted to anything. Well, she ends up coming to Wyndhorn, and in the second issue, at the end of the first issue, is introduced to her grandfather, but he's kind of an enigmatic character. You don't learn that much about him as you go along. But in the second issue, you learn a lot more about him, and here you learn that he is so much more than just a grandfather. He is a knight, a savior. He is all these different things in this world. And it is exposition heavy, I'm not going to lie. But when you've got art that looks like that, it doesn't matter how much writing there is. It doesn't matter how much background there is as far as covering it up, other than covering it up and ruining some really amazing art. But it always builds on the story. The story and the art are almost symbiotic in nature, because you go through here and you look, and the colors, I mean, just look at the colors on that. It looks like a birthday cake, for somebody who's 3 or 4 years old. Looks like a little girl's birthday cake. But it's one of the prettiest sunsets that I think you'll ever see. So, what I really love about this story is it builds upon, when you're a kid, you really think about these worlds that you read and these books that you read, and these characters are almost alive. And as we get older, it seems like we lose some of that magic. And in losing that magic, we don't know how to remember how to be kids anymore, how to have fun. So little things like paying bills and keeping a house up, keeping the yard cut, doing everyday little things tries to sap the life and the fun out of life. It just saps your energy, and you're tired at the end of the day, and you just want to lay down and go to bed. But those who keep their childlike nature, and I don't mean playing pranks on people when you're 75 years old necessarily, I just mean those that don't allow life to turn them all curmudgeonly and angry and cynical and pissed off about everything. Those people are the ones that have the imagination that builds worlds and space operas and just builds these imaginary things that when you look at it, you're like, where did that come from? And say what you will about Tom King's run on Batman or anything else, but this is a world in which he excels. This is a story in which you can tell he has put his whole heart and soul into, because it's not simply a story about Helen or her grandfather or Helen's lady that looks after her. Maitre d', maybe, is the word I'm looking for. It's a story about how imagination can build these worlds and build up something beautiful, something ethereal, something that you can almost touch. So I really hate that this is actually a limited series. I want to say it's a 5-issue limited series from Dark Horse. So I really hate that it's not an ongoing, because I could see Tom and Bilquis and Lopes and Cowles building this world that Helen inhabits from time to time, that her grandfather takes her to, for years on end, and never becoming stale, never becoming dry. I really, really enjoy this book. It's one of my favorite reads. I've heard a bunch of other people review it and say that it's something that you really have to sit down and read by itself. You can't just pick up a stack of comics that you picked up on Wednesday and really go through it. And that's honestly why it's taken me this long to give you a overview of this book, because issue 4 comes out next Wednesday. But if you haven't checked it out, go by your shop and see if you can find the first 3 issues of this book. I don't think, if you like things like Sandman Overture, if you enjoy by Matt Wagner, Sandman Mystery Theater and Guy Davis, if you enjoy Strange Haven or 1602, or even something like Something is Killing the Children, this is different than superhero fights and destruction. This is world building at its finest. So if you hadn't had a chance to go check it out, please do. I hope that you do, and I hope that you like it. If you have been reading it, pop it down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about it, and let me know what other books you're finding that might be similar to this. I don't know that there's anything quite similar on the shelves right now. I'm not a Tom King fanboy. I haven't been reading Animal Pound. But along those same lines, I've really enjoyed Animal Castle. So we might talk about Animal Castle at some point in the near future. But anyway, folks, thanks for joining me. If you have not, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing. We're almost to that 100 issue, I keep saying issue, that 100 subscriber mark. And once we hit that 100 subscriber mark, I've got those 4 books that I'm going to give away. So I'm pretty excited about that, guys. So let's get there. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you in the next video.